What's going on YouTube and TikTok? Perhaps TikTok. Hold on. We're trying something new, guys. So we are here live, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? But I want to see how I'll view like the TikTok chat. If I were to get any chatters, because this is the first live that we are going to be doing on the old TikTok here. I'm setting up some things for the YouTube side. Save. So if anybody is here now from TikTok, unfortunately I can't see. Let me hit this with this real quick. Let me see. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I had to do that real quick because I'm not sure what's about to pop up when I do this. I still have to save it on here. If you're catching the early part, of course, it's always like working out some kinks. Upload, show files, motherfucking downloads. Okay, save, and then no, it's not meant for kids. Tags. All right, save. So then that should be good. What happens if I test? Okay, so yeah, I can see the YouTube part. But I'm wondering about TikTok and how I figure that out. Maybe it'll be through here. Also, if you guys hear stuff, it's like the Opera GX fucking thingamabob. Actually, can I just look at it on my phone? I don't want to only have it on my phone, though, obviously. We are here. We are live. Hold on, I'll flip it back to you real quick. What's up, guys? I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm working out some kinks right now. Because I can't see. I'm dual streaming right now. Meaning I can't really, meaning I'm also on TikTok, but at the moment I can't really see the TikTok chat. But we're gonna be talking about the Steelers here in a second. Big Truz. Actually, I'm gonna put it back on the BRB thing here, just in case like something crazy pops up on my screen. Oh, it's gonna forever do that. Can I mute this? There we go. Let me see when I flip it back over. So I have like TikTok pulled up now. I want to see when I flip it over, how does it look for you guys? Okay, that actually looks pretty cool. The only bad part is like I can't unless I kind of finesse it here. Can I just make this its own thing? I can. And then I want to like, no, that's always going to pop up. You guys are witnessing the first iteration of this all. And nobody's even in the TikTok one, so it is what it is. How does the gift system work? You can gift like a chili? What happens if you gift a chili? Uh, I just thought I had to let you know. Let you know. Amy, what's going on? Uh, I'm doing some I'm doing some settings right now. I'm trying to see the actual TikTok chat because I can't see it on one screen, but I can see it on another one. We have some people joining. I'm just gonna roll with how I have it now, and then from there, if it sucks, it sucks. I'll figure out how to view the TikTok chat. But we have been not talking about football for a second, and so now we are. Wait, some comments in the. Dang it! I was just about to get into it, but it's saying it's filtering comments. We can just let it fly here because I want to see what the TikTok is saying. But anyway, so as you can see, we're going to start it out with this because we are going to be talking about the Browns here in a second. But for right now, we have the NFL Power Rankings up, and obviously the Steelers, we haven't played in a little bit. And so number one, we're at number 9. But number 1, they got the Lions, 2, the Eagles, 3, the Buccaneers, 4, the Bills, 5, the 49ers, 6, the Rams, 7, the Packers, 8, the Colts. The Colts being this high up, low key, I did not expect that, right? The Colts, they get Daniel Jones, and I was sleeping on him. I think the whole world was sleeping on the Colts, and we do play the Colts at some point this season, I believe. And so we'll have to see how that actually, goes down. But the Steelers are sitting here at 9, and I think this is kind of fair. When we look at it, the Colts, they've been kind of flying around. The Packers, obviously them getting Micah Parsons, they've had some, weird losses. The Rams last, what do I want to say, Thursday or something like that, whenever they played the 49ers, that was I'll be honest, I had some money on the game. I did have some money on the game, and them not throwing to Devontae and then also them losing, it was just bruh. So I'm a little out on the Rams at this current moment. The 49ers being 5, I think is a little high. However, when you look at their record, maybe their record reflects it. The Bills being at number 4, they've dropped down 2 spots. They lost Sunday night, I think, to the Patriots. That was an unfortunate game. And then the Buccaneers being all the way at 3. I have this, where is it at? I have this tweet up here because we're talking about the Browns, right? Obviously, we're going to get in to the Steelers versus the Browns here in a second. But I have this tweet up here. The guy on the left ruined everything and blew up my franchise. You can see they had Baker Mayfield. And not only did the Browns have Baker Mayfield, but the Panthers, they also had him. But it's not as bad because the Panthers, they're kind of rolling rolling per se. Bryce Young, he seems to be all right. But the Browns, they are just in an awful situation. And they have been in an awful situation for their franchise's entire history, their entire existence. But yes, the Browns, they had Baker Mayfield. And when you think about it, the highlight of the Browns ever, the highlight of their career, their legacy as a franchise, is the one single game that they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the entire history of the Cleveland Browns is they beat us in the playoffs one time, right? And they had the guy, they had Baker, and so for now we can continuously laugh at the Cleveland Browns just for letting them go. And I feel like they kind of, jumped the gun a little bit. They kind of pulled the trigger too fast, in my opinion, because you see the tweet says, the guy in the left ruined everything and blew up my franchise. Because Odell Beckham Jr. was just not happy. He was just not happy in Cleveland. And then, they traded him. They traded Baker. They traded Jarvis. I don't even know who that is all the way on the right. Maybe that's Kareem Hunt or some shit. But pretty much this Browns team is gone. So every member of the Browns, maybe outside of Myles Garrett and some random defensive players that beat the Steelers, they are all gone. And so once again, it is just hilarious to laugh at the Cleveland Browns and the situation that they're in. Because now they traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're out here sporting Dylan Gabriel, but then also there is talk of Shador Sanders, but then also there is talk of Deshaun Watson. We can even laugh at the whole Deshaun Watson thing because they gave up 92 million draft picks. They gave him all of the money in the world, and here they are once again sporting Dylan Gabriel out there as their starting quarterback when potentially the MVP, the quarterback of the 3rd ranked team in the NFL right now, is gone, and they had him pretty much for free. They drafted a #1 overall, and they still didn't get it right. And low key, they're probably gonna pick pretty high this year. And will they get it right this time? Probably not. You know, probably fucking not, because what do the Cleveland Browns do right? Pretty much nothing. And right now, kind of going back to the Steelers, I don't want to, count my chickens before they hatch or count my eggs before they hatch. But the Steelers, we're sitting at a pretty decent spot. We're sitting at 3-1. Aaron Rodgers is kind of looking like a 80% version of himself. But when we talk about the Steelers over the last couple of seasons, 80% of Aaron Rodgers is like 100% better than what we've had. And so going into this game, the Cleveland Browns reeling. Do I want to say I don't ever want to say I'm scared of the Browns, right? That has never happened ever. I will never be scared of the Cleveland Browns. However, I'm a little nervous, right? Because if you are a Steelers fan, you understand that once things start going right for us, once we start getting expectations, once we start, circling W's on the game before they actually happen, that's when shit really just falls apart for us. And so right now, I'm like 90% sure we're going to win. I should be 100%. I like this game as a test for, what's up, Mr. Steeler fan? I like this game for a test where Broderick Jones is at with pass blocking. He'll be going up against Garrett. Broderick Jones is someone we're going to talk about in a second, too. But this just has all of the makings of a trap game. You know what I'm saying? This has all of the makings of like a game where we're like really excited about it going into it. And then all of a sudden, like things we put up 10 points. Dillon Gabriel has like a coming to life party. He has like his freaking, he has like just like this moment where he's going to get a contract essentially off this game. He's going to become a lifelong backup, all because he played good against the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one games. Trap games are away games. I'm not sure. Are we home? Is it going to be in Pittsburgh this game? I'm not too sure about where we're playing it at. And actually, while we're kind of thinking about that, I do want to get some highlights up here. Okay, we're in Pittsburgh. I do want to get some highlights up here of not only our most recent game, but the game the Browns just played against the Vikings, or was it the Vikings? I'm pretty sure they just played the Vikings, but we just beat them. Obviously, we haven't played in it feels like a millennium at this point. But I want to see what Dillon Gabriel just did. Browns versus Vikings. And I also just kind of want to get a feel of what's going on here. Because once again, we literally just played this team. And so, maybe we can kind of take something from this Minnesota game and maybe, put it into our game plan here going forward. But Mr. Steeler fan, what's up? I just got to get out of this ad here. I don't have YouTube Premium. Let me just bounce this over to here. That didn't work exactly how I wanted it to work. We can just full screen it, I guess. And then I want to get this back up just in case. And I also want to get this back up just in case. This back up. No. This back up. There we go. So we have the Vikings versus Browns highlights right here. And then we're going to be watching Dillon Gabriel's kind of like debut as a Cleveland Brown. And also just like how they're looking as a unit. And maybe we can draw something from it. This quality is absolutely not happening live on my stream. We can do 1080p. I think we can afford 1080p. I pay a lot for internet. So let's watch no captions. Let's watch what the Vikings do to the Browns. As keep in mind, we kind of just spanked the Vikings a little bit ago. Also, let me know how the audio is versus my voice. Carson Wentz does a little screen to Hawkinson there. But I'm more so looking for how Dillon Gabriel looks in like the Browns offense, especially because he's like a new quarterback coming in. Audio's fine. Nice. You can see that the Vikings are just screening them to death so far. I didn't really watch this game. I maybe had a touchdown parlay going here, but that's as far as my watching experience gone. You can see, okay, they forced a fumble. Let's see what happened here. Greg Newsome. Okay, they just brought it up. Greg Newsome, also for the Cleveland Browns, is currently a Jacksonville Jaguar because they traded fucking Greg Newsome. Was that a good move? The Browns, they're just, they're essentially fire sailing at this point. They suck, so I guess trade everybody. But we won't be facing Greg Newsome. And then on the other side for us, I don't know if Jalen Ramsey is going to be there. I don't think Jalen Ramsey is playing. But we can see Dillon Gabriel, his first play is a handoff to, is that Judkins? Yeah, that's a Quinshawn Judkins. This is going to be something that, keep in mind, that Stefanski is a good play caller. Not great, but can get something out of talent at the quarterback position. with the exception of Baker. That, you know, and us not having really the most tape on Dylan Gabriel, I feel like is going to kind of, it's going to be new. You know what I'm saying? But like, as long as we can kind of get to the basics of, you know, we just saw Quinshon Judikins. As long as we can get to the basics of, do not let this shit happen right here. Absolutely under no circumstance can we let this shit happen right here where Quinshon Judikins is kind of doing his thing. Because we've seen how, you know, we are against the run. Granted, I think we've picked it up a little bit. But if we can't stop the run, then that's going to be a real problem, especially, you know, going against a rookie quarterback. And they can't pick up this third down here. Will they go for it on fourth down? They do go for it. Judikins again. They just send him up there right up the middle. They do pick it up. And here we go now. Second and goal. Play action. Oh, my goodness. That's a nice little play action right there. They get a touchdown. Bro, it's live on. Oh, Marcus Sayana, what's going on? For the YouTube side of things, just let me for the YouTube side of things and the TikTok side of things, I am doing a live on both, right? So like, I don't think the YouTube chat will see the TikTok chat, and I don't think the TikTok will. So like, you know, when I get used to this, I'll maybe have like something on the screen. But just for now, I hope my commentary, I hope my narration can kind of get the job done. We've gotten against. Oh wait, what just happened? I swear I just saw something. I swear I just saw a Steeler fan chat here. Hold on, top chat, live chat. Not me choking. I'm choking as soon as I get a viewer on TikTok. But what's up, Marco? All right, so here we go now. Down 7 points. What are the Vikings going to do? Justin Jefferson. Hold on. This is kind of, I'm one of the very few Steeler fans in Waco, Texas. What's going on at Waco, Texas? But Justin Jefferson, this has nothing to do with the Browns or the Steelers. Other than, I mean, we just played them. But Justin Jefferson just being fantastic no matter who is the fucking quarterback and the Vikings, let me just put this out there. I'm a Steelers fan 100% of the time. I've explained this story before, but the Vikings were like my Madden team back in, was it Madden like 10 and 11 and shit, like back when they had like Tavares Jackson and whatnot and even Brett Favre. So like I kind of fuck with the Vikings, right? Like I peep in, I lock in. And I'm going to relate this to my fantasy team as well because Justin Jefferson is like, he's a hooper. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson is, he's a hooper. And I drafted Jamar Chase from the Bengals. I had the #1 overall pick in fantasy. And like, you know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe, you know, as a Steelers fan, I shouldn't have taken Jamar Chase. But like, I never have the #1 pick. I didn't really know what to do. So I took Jamar Chase. And like, I'm reflecting this back to Justin Jefferson eating with any quarterback because Jamar Chase, it's like very hit or miss at this point. I don't know if Jamar is going to be good. I don't know if he's going to be bad. Them getting Joe Flacco, does that make me like happier as a Jamar Chase owner in fantasy? A little bit, you know, a little bit. You took Chase as well? Okay, so I'm not crazy. It makes me like slightly happier. But all of this to say, Justin Jefferson, he's going to eat regardless, it seems. And so Carson Wentz out there, fucking J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Addison next to him, Jordan Addison suspended, Jordan Addison flying down the highway at max speed. It literally does not matter. Justin Jefferson is going to eat. We've gotten better against the run with Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon has had like a fantastic impact on the Steelers defensive line. And like, Steeler fan, Marco, I don't know if you guys like watch my YouTube videos, but I don't, you know, I guess egg on my face or whatever. I'll take the criticism. I don't want to say I was sleeping on Derek Harmon, but like the how do I want to put it? The like expectation that we were going to care about stopping the run once Derek Harmon got in. I just didn't think a rookie could make that kind of impact. Like, I just didn't think that's how it worked. But like, silly me, because you're right. As soon as Derek Harmon got in that lineup, it was like, okay, now we can stop the run. And that's why you take a guy in the first round. Our first round picks recently haven't really been cooking. And so, hey, you know, I'll take it. I will take it. But I will say, I just didn't really expect Derek Harmon as a rookie to come in and like have the impact that he's had. But he's doing it. He's fucking out here doing it. Hey, thank you for, oh my God. Yo, I'm turning into the fucking, oh, what's that dude? You guys don't see it on YouTube, but I just got a rose. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose. I'm like that guy from the Kai Cenat stream. Thank you for, oh my God, we're getting a ton of gifts or whatever on the TikTok side. But yeah, Derek Harmon drawing double teams already. Shout out to Derek Harmon. Let's get back to this game, though. Carson Wentz play action. He hits Justin Jefferson again. We were just hyping up the guy. Thank you so much, Marco, for all the gifts. All the I don't even know what they are. Carson Wentz, play action again. This time he's going to find Jalen Naylor. I feel like the Vikings, you know how the Steelers fans, like we kind of hype up, the Calvin Austins of the world and the Roman Wilsons of the world. And like we got fucking, like who else? We got Skoronek. We got Scotty Miller. We're just like sitting here begging for a receiver every day. I feel like the Vikings just have a multitude of receivers that like we just think we have. You know what I'm saying? Like we're sitting here begging for a wide receiver every day. We need to just get one of them from the Vikings, in my opinion. Here we go now. The Vikings, they're driving on them. This time a direct handoff. Oh my God, Cam Akers. What a play. What a play. Do we have plays like that in the Steelers rotation, you think? Do you think Arthur Smith has a play call like this? Because every time I see the Steelers do some nonsense like this, it never fucking works. It really doesn't. Cam Akers, so yeah, he just tosses it up there. And the Browns, they just can't cover it. It is what it is. So here we go, 7-7 now. I wanted to see Dillon Gabriel, see what he's made of. Here we go, this time a direct snap. You know, he finds him. Nice little short gain right there. Dillon Gabriel again in the shotgun going into the second quarter. Flag immediately. Could be a free play. Njoku. David Njoku. I can't believe the production David Njoku has gotten. And they must have punted because the ball is gone immediately. Vikings get it again. This time a outside handoff to Jalen Naylor. Here we go, another. This time a kind of shotgunny handoff there. The Browns are all over it. Is Jaylen Warren going to be healthy? Is Jaylen Warren going to be playing? Because obviously, we know Kenneth Gainwell had a day against the Vikings. I don't know if their run defense is like just horrible. They just be letting anybody run. But I know Judkins had quite the game. But if Jaylen Warren is available for us, that is going to be a massive, advantage right there. I honestly think if we can get our pass rush dialed in, our cornerback has a good chance. Once is in, all under that pressure. Yes, Warren is playing tomorrow. What's up? Justin, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Jaylen Warren is playing tomorrow, which is fantastic for my fantasy team. Dillon Gabriel, label, okay, doing a little run skis there. 3rd and 10, gets like an 8-yard gain. They're still going to have to punt the ball. But okay, we see some mobility from the young quarterback. Carson Wentz. He's doing his thing. Okay, we're going to get back-to-back runs, the spin move. Okay, and he gets... See, and this is what I'm talking about here, guys. And this is why the Cleveland Browns are ass. Somehow, some way, I'm just going to shit on the Browns. Because their quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, he runs the ball, and he gets right there. He gets very close to a first down, right? But then when you bring in a savvy veteran, someone who's been there, done that, someone who led the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl right before, and I know, right before he ended up going out with injury. But you know what I'm saying? This is what a real quarterback does for your team. Not just, one you just randomly pick up like, oh, we got Dillon Gabriel. Oh, we got Deshaun Watson. Oh, we got Shedeur Sanders. Oh, we got Joe Flacco. Oh, we got Kenny Pickett. Let's go back. Why isn't Kenny Pickett playing? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull out a relic for you guys. Let me pull out some exclusive stuff right here. Live on the stream. We're celebrating. We got the TikTok going on. The Cleveland Browns should have been playing Kenny Pickett from the get-go. And as a Pitt fan, and Pitt had a massive win today against taking down Florida State. As a Pitt fan, I will admit Kenny Pickett probably sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably stinks in the NFL. It is what it is. But the Browns stink as an organization. I don't understand why the Browns didn't do it, right? Like, they had all these people. They clearly didn't want to play Shedeur. They really didn't want to play Dillon Gabriel. Why didn't they play Kenny Pickett? And the Raiders, they need to play him as well. Anyone paying attention to the Steelers' future franchise quarterback, USC Jaden Maivia, 2-score lead over the 15th ranked Michigan. This kid out of USC is the next franchise of the Steelers. I'll be honest, I haven't really... I feel like there's so many quarterbacks this year, and like there's so many that like none of them are kind of, I guess, taking the lead over one another. But I will say, shout out to my friend Rick. I work with him and whatnot. He watches football a lot. He's a Dolphins fan. Have you guys heard of Sam Levitt, I think his name is, from Arizona State? Maybe we can pull up some Sam Levitt highlights in a little bit. Maybe even some Jordan Maivia highlights in a little bit. Or Jaden Maivia. But apparently Sam Levitt is kind of hooping. And I've also seen the Steelers have been sending scout after scout after scout looking at Drew Allar. And unfortunately for him, he just like went out with injury. But I think maybe we're looking at Drew Aller as well. And like as a Pitt fan, as I just talked about, am I thrilled about that? Not really. I don't know. I don't know if Drew Aller is actually good or not. Like rivalry aside, I'm not sure. But I guess we'll see, right? But anyway, Carson Wentz, he's in the shotgun now. 7-7. Oh yeah, we just talked about it. He hit the spin move. He's the real quarterback right here. Unlike what the Browns have as an organization. This time we got a handoff. The Browns just get the ball back. Hold on. Guys, just give me 1 second here. I am going to have to be right back. I think my girlfriend is arriving. But big trust, we are going to be right back to the stream in 1 second here. I got to unmute that. There we go. All right, I think we're back. I think everything should be good. As I said, I thought my girlfriend was just arriving, but it turns out I was locked in because she's been here for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I didn't even hear. But it is what it is. Anyway, we're back. What was I talking about before? Yeah, so as far as the Steelers' next quarterback, it could even be Will. Are we done with Will Howard already? Obviously we need to have some kind of competition, and also is Aaron Rodgers going to play again next year? That could very well happen. And then I guess that further delays the Will Howard thing. And then also, if we end up drafting a quarterback, that kind of, pushes that back out. But we'll see. Maybe like I said, maybe we'll watch some college highlights here in a second. But I do kind of want to get back to the Browns highlights or whatever, because I want to see what Dylan Gabriel's made out of. So here we go. They have the ball. Play action. Dylan Gabriel. He's going to go down immediately. The Cleveland Browns have no offensive line whatsoever. It's very nice to see as a Steelers fan. 3rd and 13, Dylan Gabriel. What do you got? What are you made of? He's going to fire one, and okay, a solid throw there. They do end up making the catch. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy might stink too, low-key. Oh, he did not catch that. He absolutely did not catch that football. So Carson Wentz, he's back with it. Pump fakes. Carson Wentz again. Carson Wentz had the wheels against the Browns. We did not let that shit happen. Dylan Gabriel, here we go. Out of the shotgun. A little bit of a high throw there, but, still solid. Oh, was that Isaiah Bond? Isaiah Bond, I want to say this was his first or second game for the Browns, so we'll see him. They go for it on 4th and 1 there. Here we go. Dylan Gabriel again in the shotgun. Takes the direct snap. Oh, this time a screen pass. Is that, what's his name? Jerome Ford? Funny story. I feel like I'm full of funny stories here as we had that Jerome Ford highlight. So, actually, you know what? I think I might watch that game after this one. I was in attendance for a Monday Night Football game between the Steelers and Browns in 2022, maybe 2022. It was the game where Nick Chubb got hurt, right, against Minka Fitzpatrick. Nick Chubb his like leg like exploded off of a Minka Fitzpatrick tackle. Anyway, you know, T's and P's to Nick Chubb or whatever. You know, he's now a Houston Texan. We don't really have that much animosity against him. But in that game, Jerome Ford like made his debut, maybe. You know, like maybe he had played before, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I had him in fantasy, right? Jerome Ford. And it turned out that Jerome Ford was actually, you know, kind of made of something there. Because once he hit the field, Jerome Ford was like a solid option. And once again, I had him on my fantasy bench. You know, and he became a very hot commodity within the league. And so shout out to Jerome Ford. I always be thankful for Jerome Ford for making it happen for me. And at this point, he's been on the Cleveland Browns for a little bit. So it is what it is. Anyway, Dylan Gabriel now 3rd and 6 in the shotgun. What's he going to do? They're running a lot of shotgun here. I don't know if I'm tripping, right? Like, I don't know. Let me, what's his name? John Gruden, quarterback, camp this or whatever, ESPN, deep dive, highlights, Stephen A. Smith. It seems like if they're in the shotgun, well, I mean, duh, no shit. But like Dylan Gabriel, he's not throwing it under center. Like if he's in the shotgun and is, you know, it could be a play action or whatever, it could be a handoff, but he's in the shotgun, he's likely gonna throw the ball. Like he's not taking any passes under the center. Maybe as I watch, I'll learn more. Is that a tell? I don't know. I don't know if that's a tip. I don't know if that's common. I might just be a common, a casual or whatever. But something I've noticed. So here we go. He's in the shotgun again. 1st and 10. Going out of the first half here. Ooh, that was a little bit of a bad throw, but the receiver, he makes it fucking happen. Njoku again. Njoku, I talked about this. I can't believe he's as good as he actually is. Dylan Gabriel. Oh, that ball is batted. It's in the air. Oh my God, did he pick that? No way. Did Patrick Peterson wear 7 for the Vikings? I can't believe they still let people wear that shit. So we're going into the half. The Cleveland Browns, they're up 10-7. This time the Vikings now, it's time to lock in. It's time to play some Carson Wentz football. He throws that ball to fucking Narnia. But there was a flag there, so it is what it is. All right, here we go again. Carson Wentz, play action. What are we going to do? Yo, Aaron Rodgers had a mean play action. Oh, my God. Justin Jefferson, man, I'm telling you, this guy is a fucking weapon. No matter what, he is going to get his. Carson Wentz again out of the shotgun, firing it. This time to Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison out of, player out of Pitt. I fuck with Jordan Addison. I wish he didn't go to USC, but it is what it is. Carson Wentz again hands the ball off. Oh, my God. This right here was a move. Ladies and gentlemen, ESPN top 10 right here. He fucking juked him out of his shoes. And I can just imagine Jaylen Warren, he's very quick, he's very fast, but like Jaylen Warren probably would have fucking ran straight into this dude and ran him right over. But still the finesse is nice to see. People say he's still looking for his cleats to this day. And I don't even know. Jordan Mason. What a move there. Carson Wentz now, again, hands the ball off to Jordan Mason, and he just fucking does it. Jordan Mason just fucking gets it. And it's like anybody can have a great game against the Browns. That is the kind of team that they are. So here we go. The Vikings, they take the lead. Dylan Gabriel, what are you going to do? The pressure is on you. You're going to hand the ball off to Judkins again. Judkins, he's having quite the game. But the Vikings, we saw it when we played them. The Vikings, they can't stop shit on the ground. So I don't know if necessarily we can hype that up. This time, Jerome Ford, he's him. Why isn't Jerome Ford just like the incumbent starter? Is he not like that? I'm telling you, he did wonders for my fantasy football team that year. Here we go. Dylan Gabriel again. Shotgun. Firing it up the middle. This time, David Njoku again. He does his thing. Like I said, Njoku, he's just a hooper. And Njoku was the one hooper that they have. And Jerome Ford. Here we go again. The Browns have it. This time, a little bit of a rollout. He finds Judkins. This game was in London, too, I think. Vikings, they're just back-to-back international games. Another play action, this time a screen pass to the... Wow. And Njoku doing a hurdle. I don't know if that was necessary, but he did hurdle him. Here we go now. They're in the red zone. What are they going to do? Can't get it. Judkins can't get it. Obviously, this is the first game with the Browns, or I guess with Dylan Gabriel, I'm trying to say. This is his first game, so like maybe the playbook isn't exactly fucking, huge, but their playbook looks, oh my God. What the hell? This was bad. Their playbook isn't huge, but it looks like they're running a lot of dink and dunk passes. I want to see that sack again. Here we go. So the Browns, they walked away with 3 there. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, they're fucking, oh my goodness. I don't know. Is that Brian O'Neill? That could be Pitman Brian O'Neill. But he gets fucking smoked here. And Carson Wentz, he just gets absolutely obliterated. I haven't seen Myles Garrett much of this game. Did he play? Is Myles Garrett active for this game right now? Carson Wentz, here we go. 3rd and 17. Oh, there he is. Oh my God, I jinxed it. Oh my God, I literally fucking jinxed it. Myles Garrett is right there. Okay, Myles Garrett. Okay, I see you. All right, here we go. We got a punt now. Normally when they show a punt, some nonsense is about to happen. There is a flag. A fantastic punt. That is the kind of punt that gets you re-signed. I don't know what happened, though. Why did they get the ball back? Why did they? So something happened. Was there like a roughing or something? Yeah, was there like a roughing the punter or something? They didn't really explain that. But the Browns, after this fantastic punt, shout out to the punter, shout out to special teams, big Chris Boswell supporter. After the punt, the Browns get the ball back. Not really sure why, but it is what it is. Browns have the ball. They have the ball and a lead. But they can't make anything out of it. Odell Beckham Jr. punting the ball away. This time, this is a really bad punt. Actually, I mean, they're starting from their end zone damn near, so that's probably a solid punt. I don't know. Here we go now. Vikings, what do you guys got in you? Jordan Addison in motion. This time a handoff. Oh, my God, that's going nowhere. And a fumble. Damn, the Browns get the ball again? Okay, so I will say the Browns defense is kind of doing their thing a little bit. Obviously, they don't have Newsome anymore. But just from this game alone, they're kind of, doing their thing a little bit. Like, they're holding the Vikings to 14 points. We kind of pretty much shut the Vikings out up until, like, the last, quarter or whatever of our game. But their defense looks to be solid. And, like, they're giving Dylan Gabriel a lot of opportunities here. 3rd and 4. Let's see what Dylan Gabriel is able to do. He's doing something. He's checking it at the line. He's switching forward over. Direct snap to him. Dylan Gabriel, what do you got in you? He's facing pressure immediately. Oh, he's able to stay up, but he can't dodge everybody. He faced Byron Murphy, gets the sack, but he can't escape everybody. Vikings, they have the ball back now. 3rd and 10. Carson Wentz, what do you got in you? This time he's firing it. He's firing it right over the middle. Finds Justin Jefferson. Literally just throw him the ball. Damn. Oh my God. He has a chain on. Oh my goodness. Justin Jefferson. I would trade 19 first-round picks for him right now, probably, if he was available. This time, Carson Wentz, though, is going to go down with a sack on 3rd down. The Browns, oh my God, and he missed it, too. He missed it. So the Browns, again, 8 minutes left. They get the ball back again. This time, another handoff to Judkins. They're moving the ball. From what I'm seeing, though, they can't capitalize. They haven't been able to capitalize. Dylan Gabriel, he pumps it up. That was a freaking awful throw, but he might have been hit a little bit as he threw it. So it is what it is. This time, Carson Wentz, they get the ball back. So the Browns, they can't do anything with it. And like I said, I didn't watch this game, but, from what I'm seeing, it appears they just can't really capitalize, They can't really do their thing. Carson Wentz is going to get sacked again. So Dylan Gabriel, again, is going to have an opportunity to, kind of do something here. Here we go. 3 minutes left. 3rd and 11. Here we go. What do we got, Dylan Gabriel? You got to throw the ball a little bit. He threw that to me. Almost caught it. He can't really do much with it. Vikings, you give him the ball again. Honestly, the Browns are asking for it. And I will never feel bad for the Browns, but, in this moment, I feel slightly bad for their defense because they gave them a real opportunity to win this game. They had the lead still. They've held the Vikings to 14 points this entire game. With some firepower in Addison and Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson, I don't think Wentz is, like, the worst quarterback either. Like, I think the Browns' defense is just playing really good. 1st and 10, a minute left. Here we go. Throws it to the outside. Justin Jefferson, he's going to make the play. Denzel Ward's still on the Browns, so maybe DK versus Denzel. Here we go now. Jordan Mason, a little pass out to there. Jordan Mason's having a pretty good game. It's like third and 1. They're in field goal range. Oh, it's 2nd and 5 now. Oh, boy. Here we go. He's going to look for Jordan Addison at the bottom of the screen. He finds him. Jordan Addison gets the touchdown. And that pretty much puts the game away. And, like, you know, you can be upset at the Browns' defense in that moment. But they had been hooping all game, right? He makes finally a good pass when the game is completely out of reach. You know, it's not out of reach. I guess they could still make something happen. Last play of the game, Dylan Gabriel. You got to find that. Damn, he thought he was going to be able to get out of bounds, but he wasn't. But yeah, as I was saying, like the Browns defense, they played their hearts out for, you know, 90% of it. That last drive, obviously they give up a touchdown in like a, you know, can't have a touchdown situation. And as a Steelers fan, I completely relate because our defense sometimes will be playing really good. And then, you know, on the last play of the game or like when we really, really, really need a stop, they don't end up doing it. But the offense, they had all the opportunity in the world to fucking, you know, put up some points, and they didn't. They held the Vikings to 3 touchdowns for the whole game. And pretty much most of it, the Browns led. They led by 3 damn near the whole game. And so the Vikings didn't get that, like, game-winning touchdown up until the very end. And so, like I said, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch. But I feel really good about, you know, this Cleveland Browns game coming up, especially because the expectations, like Dylan Gabriel and the Browns pretty much are tanking it in. They traded away Newsome. They don't have any expectations, right? And the Steelers, even though we start to fold when we get expectations, we really do have some. And so, like, we got to win this game against Cleveland. And then, like, going past Cleveland, we face the Joe Flacco-led Cincinnati Bengals the next week. Like, these have to be 2 gimme games. Like, if we don't leave these 2 games 5-1, I think, yeah, we're 3-1 right now. If we don't leave these games 5-1, then that's a real problem, especially, like, if it's kind of like what the Browns showed against the Vikings. Like, if we're just doing nothing on offense for the entire game, then, like, that's going to be a real problem. But yeah, anyway, the Browns, they fucking stink. They're horrible. And I do kind of want to get back to, actually, I'm going to put this over here. There was another video that I saw that kind of interests me. This was about Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to pull this back up. And also, I'm sorry if you guys hear like the whatchamacallit, the Opera GX typing noises. Let me get through this like ad real quick here. Who's scoring a touchdown tonight, guys, or on Sunday? Who's going to score a touchdown? I need a parlay to hit. Once again, to everybody on TikTok, thank you for like the roses and shit. Like, thank you for all the gifts. Shout out to the Marco Sayana for all like the gifted things. I don't even know like Jaylen Warren. What about Jaylen Warren? Jaylen Warren, what's going on with him? I'm excited for Jaylen. Jaylen Warren is like outside of Boswell, he's like my second favorite Steeler. And so I really hope that he can, you know, kind of come back and do his thing. What's going on with Caleb Johnson as well? Hold on, before we get into this video, you know, you mentioned Jaylen Warren. What's going on with Caleb Johnson? Like, obviously, I guess we're kind of easing him in. And like maybe I'm being an impatient Steelers fan. Like I see like a lot of like really negative takes about Caleb Johnson so far. You know, him muffing that punt or whatever, like that punch that happened. I feel like that really, you know, kind of like did a work on his like what I want to say, his like reputation. And in the preseason, he wasn't really, you know, flying around either. I just, you know, and Kenneth Gainwell, I don't know if anybody expected him to play that good as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting that Caleb Johnson isn't really, you know, eaten, but there's still a lot of time. It was just he was taken in the 3rd round. We expected, you know, the 3rd round pick. We expected Caleb Johnson to have a big impact this year. I think like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like we thought Caleb Johnson was gonna play not only more but like better than what he has. Now he hasn't really had many opportunities. Like we're talking about maybe 5 rushes between 5 games or 4 games, and then like the muff punt. Why was he on punt return? I don't know. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what's going on with Caleb Johnson. And then also, what's his name, Broderick Jones, like the offensive line in general. I shouldn't only say Broderick Jones, but like the offensive line at first wasn't really playing all that well. But I think we've kind of picked it up a little bit, especially in that last game against the Vikings, where it seems like they don't fucking stop anything they don't stop anything on the ground. And so like maybe we can kind of take that with a grain of salt, but seeming like the offensive line in terms of the run support is picking back up. And so with that said, I'm hoping that like Jaylen Warren, for example, he eats a little bit more. We just saw Kenneth Gainwell have like the game of his life. And then that all ties back to Caleb Johnson. Like I hope, we kind of ease him in. And like the only reason why I'm like this, talking about it, like this kind of scared, is we also had a 3rd round pick a little bit ago in Roman Wilson, in which nobody knows what's going on. I saw this, what's his name? Mark Cabali. I saw this article put out by him a little bit ago where it's like the Steelers won't give up any information about it. Roman Wilson won't give up any information about it as to why Roman's not playing. I don't know. In fact, hold on. Let's just pull this up right now. I think it was Mark Cabali. Shout out to Mark Cabali. Shout out to all the creators. Shout out to Twitter, specifically. Follow me, Zaya&TheSteelers. Also, let's talk about the WWE, man, real quick. Let's take a quick little segment. WWE, if you guys haven't been seeing, John Cena's been wilding. John Cena, he's been using everybody's finisher in the book. And I'm not really a big AJ Styles fan. And I didn't watch it today because it came on at fucking 8 in the morning because like they're doing like this world tour. But yeah, John Cena's been wilding. Shout out to him. But I want to find... This guy tweets a lot too, so it may take me a second to actually find this. But I want to find the article about... what's his name? Here we go. Roman Wilson, because like this to me was interesting. I just have no comment on everything. That's just how I feel about everything that's going on. Pittsburgh. Wait, let me figure out where this starts. Have you heard of the adage? It's like trying to get blood from a rock. If not, just spend a few minutes talking to Steelers wide receiver Roman Wilson about his curious lack of playing time in a year where he was expected to make a second-year jump to what a high-talented third-round pick should provide as a late week before the season. When a high-ranking team source gushed over the immediacy of Wilson's contributions to the team this year, then you would understand what the phrase blood from a rock means. Either Wilson legitimately doesn't know why he isn't getting more work than he has, or he does know, and he's just not saying anything. Let me tell you, it's impossible to get a straight answer from pretty much everybody, but nobody more than Wilson, especially heading into Sunday's game against the Cleveland Browns at a Acrisure Stadium, with Calvin Austin III being out for the first of what could be several games after injuring his shoulder in Dublin. So will we see an enhanced role, or so will Wilson see an enhanced role on Sunday? I plead the fifth, says Roman Wilson. Okay, then why hasn't Wilson been playing, or hasn't been able to get consistent playing time, especially after an eye-opening offseason and a good preseason? I plead the fifth, says Wilson. So is he surprised that he's played only 44 snaps in 4 games and was skipped over for the likes of Scotty Miller and Ben Skowronek when Austin went down for his injury in Ireland? I plead the fifth. You guys kind of get the gist of it. Shout out to Mark Cabali for this article. But pretty much Roman Wilson isn't saying anything. The Steelers won't play the guy. He appears to be healthy. I think everybody thinks he's healthy. I think he's healthy, and like he's just not playing for whatever reason. If I had to guess, right, I don't know shit about fuck. I don't know what I'm talking about ever. But what I will say is, maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers is doing a little bit of I like throwing to Scotty Miller and Skowronek a little bit. Maybe the Steelers had planned on Roman Wilson, having this big role. And then, the season actually starts, and Roman Wilson, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play a lick in the preseason. And so Roman Wilson, he builds this chemistry, but it's with fucking Skylar Thompson. It's with Mason Rudolph. It's not with Aaron Rodgers specifically. And so maybe he's just in the doghouse for that, and I don't know that. I don't know if that to be true. But I can't think of any other reason. I think, he's talented. I think, we took him with a 3rd round pick. We're sitting here every day begging for a wide receiver. It's not like we don't have a need for Roman Wilson to be good. But I just think, he could be in the Aaron Rodgers doghouse. Other than that, though, I don't know, what else it could be. Mike, I'm gifting the first 5 people to message me struggling. Stay blessed. Mike Anderson. Damn, they really be doing that in TikTok. I guess TikTok. I should have expected that. I got a spam comment on the TikTok chat. But shit, Mike Anderson, if you're in the stream at all, struggling, You know what I'm saying? Like, how about I get it? Can I get a gift? Like, I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to like Roman Wilson and his playing time. I just maybe him and Aaron Rodgers don't necessarily have like the kind of connection that him and Skoranek or him and Scotty Miller do. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. But I do kind of want to get into this video here. And it's titled, where's it at? It's titled, Why PFF Hates Aaron Rodgers So Much. Low-key, this was one of those where like the thumbnail really got me. And that's like the art of YouTube right there. I love YouTube. I love like the science behind it. Like this thumbnail got me. And I have, if you guys haven't seen, PFF has Aaron Rodgers ranked as like the negative 18th quarterback in the NFL. Even though it's like, if you actually watch, it seems like he's good, you know. And PFF, we talk about it with like the whole Myles Garrett and TJ Watt thing. Like they let Herbert or Stafford. Give me Stafford. And what's up, Trip Time? Like a little bit of lore. Like I kind of don't like Justin Herbert because I feel like he gets hyped up a lot and like hasn't really achieved, you know, near that hype versus like, you know, the Lamar Jacksons or like maybe even like the Josh Allens. At one point, the Tuas, but now we're all, you know, out on Tua. So I have like this kind of disdain for Justin Herbert and the Chargers specifically. But taking away that, Matthew Stafford is like producing. I mean, they got Puka Nacua out there. They got, you know, at the time, Cooper Kupp. They got, you know, now Devontae, even before when he was on the Lions. Like Matthew Stafford has been him for a while. And, you know, I'm a big, I want to say like 2000. Well, I was born in 99. Like I'm a 2000s football fan. And so like, you know, the Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Drew Brees, the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, the like all these people, you know, I'm just, you know, Matthew Stafford was playing then, so I have like this bias towards it. I get London, Lamb, and ETN. They get Puka and Jalen Warren. Do I accept? I get Drake London, CeeDee Lamb, and ETN. They get Puka and Jalen Warren. I would decline. But I'm a hater because like I don't really have the most faith in Drake London. CeeDee Lamb isn't like, he's hurt right now, and then like the Cowboys, that could be something. That ETN, he's kind of doing good too, but like Puka is fucking dominating, right? Like no bullshit. If you watch the Rams and like how Puka gets fed, like it's like Thanksgiving every single day for Puka Nacua. And Jalen Warren, as a Steelers fan, Jalen Warren, like I know the guy is getting reps. You know what I'm saying? Especially with like an aging Aaron Rodgers. Damn, what is it? Trade Kittle and Ladd for Javonte. I have Kraft. Trade Kittle and Ladd for Javonte. I would do that. I would get, because Javonte, he's been kind of hooping, right, for the Cowboys? Yeah, you can tell me your team. Hold on, I'm going to start this video, though. Why PFF hates Aaron Rodgers.
Steelers are 3-1, and Aaron Rodgers has looked.
Real quick, too, before I really get into it. Shout out to Alex Rollins, NFL. I'm going to get this with a like. You know, go watch this. Alex Rollins, NFL. This is his channel. Shout out to him. 100,000 subscribers.
Good.
Let's get it.
Yes, Pro Football Focus, PFF, has him graded as the worst quarterback in the entire NFL. That's worse than Cam Ward, J.J. McCarthy, Jake Browning.
Yeah, see, like, this makes no sense.
Game on Sunday, Rodgers looks good. One could argue that the film adds an additional layer of context that the PFF graders miss. So today we'll dive into what the PFF grading process is, why they hate Aaron Rodgers.
This right here is
so
a fantastic catch out of DK.
I agree and disagree. PFF's grading process operates on a scale from +2 to -2 with 0.5 increments in between on any given play.
You got Baker, Kyron Williams, Ashton Genty, JSN, Lamb, Kraft, London, ETN, and my kicker and deflate. J. Cress. Okay, so you're trading. Okay, so like if you accept, you would have Baker, Kyron, Genty, JSN, Lamb. JSN and Lamb could potentially be kind of spooky. But I don't know. I'm not really like Mr. Fantasy. So I don't even know, double flex almost, so that means you get 2 flex players, right? I don't know. Is Drake London, how's Drake London playing? Because I don't know. I'm not really the highest on Drake London.
Quarterbacks 0 is an average play. You hit a guy in the hands. A 3-yard slant that's reasonably open, for example, boom, you get a 0. A +2 is an exceptional throw on a tight window down the field. They use this epic Manning to Manningham throw in the Super Bowl as the golden example. Or there's a -2 throw in egregiously bad play. Doesn't have to actually get intercepted. They grade the quality of the throw, not necessarily the results.
Okay, so no bullshit. This is like literally the science behind what PFF is. I didn't know this video was going to be like that. Do I really care about what PFF is? Not really. I just feel like, Aaron Rodgers is kind of getting slept on. But PFF, like, they fucking hate the Steelers. Like, that's the facts of it all. They fucking hate the Steelers. And so any opportunity that they get to, like, continuously hate on us, I think they're going to take. I'm not going to send the trade till next week because I want to see. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, like, wait another week for Drake London and then also see what's going on with CD. Does CD play this week? Because you got to see, like, what life is like with him and Pickens now that Pickens is, like, a player. Because before, CD was out there and like Pickens wasn't really getting the ball that much. But now that he's emerged and you know how George Pickens gets, especially, as a Steelers fan, that could kind of split it up. Whereas like you have Puka who has Devontae Adams next to him, and literally Devontae Adams might as well be Devontae Adams might as well be Deontay Johnson right now at this point. Even though he scored in every game, like Devontae, he's still eating. It's just Puka is getting a plethora. But keep in mind the QB. Yeah, Dak is hooping too for sure. He's definitely hooping. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to give up Puka.
+1, -1, +0.5, etc., etc. Despite Rodgers putting up good counting stats, he has the NFL's 3rd highest touchdown rate, decent yards per attempt. His EPA per play is pretty low. His turnover-worthy play rate, also a PFF metric, is 6th highest. He's not having a great season by any means, but good season, it seems so.
He's having a good season.
We'll dive in further to discuss why PFF has him as the worst quarterback in the league.
This shit pissed me the fuck. This play right here pissed me the hell off. Because this literally is a touchdown to Muth, who fucking can't score to save his life. And Calvin Austin, he kind of breaks it up and like that. Also, Puka gets most of the receptions, but they throw to Adams. Yeah, but Puka also, he got like, how do I want to say it? Puka, he did get a touchdown last week, or last Thursday or whatever. So that could be building back up.
But before we dive deeper, I want to thank this week's sponsor.
Oh, he got a sponsor? What is his sponsor? What are these?
Magic MLB Showdown. And as a kid, I loved all of it.
We're still playing Ultimate Team? We're still playing all. What is this? Low-key, I probably should watch this. I'm kind of interested, but no free advertisements.
Several areas where I disagree with Rodgers' grade, given the method in which PFF uses to evaluate quarterbacks. For one, because the Steelers' offensive line is suspect, Rodgers has been rushing at times to get rid of the ball. And because he's excellent pre-snap, he can create more. Rodgers has been rushing at times to get rid of the ball.
So Frazier just kind of, I mean, there was really nothing we could do there. I don't know who.
The Steelers' offensive line is suspect.
Maybe does Frazier get the wrong person on this? No, I don't think so. I think they just somehow they have a free rusher. Fatanu on the end, he's not really getting anybody. So maybe that was just like a bad kind of, I don't know, bad kind of play there on the offensive line. But
he's excellent pre-snap. He can create.
We can talk about the Steelers' offensive line all day.
Grade him a little bit lower, even though the degree of difficulty is still high. For the first one, the O-line stuff, it's evident that when Rodgers sees defenders in zone coverage backing off, he's going to throw it underneath very quickly, partially because of the suspect protection. Additionally, there are certain offensive concepts that are as simple as stretching out a zone defender vertically, and when Rodgers turns his head, he also sees the Patriots are blitzing, so he wants to get rid of the ball quicker. So when he sees the coverage deep, he's quickly getting rid of the ball because that's the way the play is designed.
Who is he supposed to throw to? Yeah, that's the right read.
Likely just graded by PFF as a 0. It hits him right in the hands, not too difficult of a throw on the surface. But this makes things tough because we only get to see the final grade, not the process of how every single individual play is graded. Using their scale to grade quarterbacks becomes challenging when you take in how many different variables there are in football. Where, for example, Rodgers has been getting blitz more than usual, 36% this year, compared to a career average around 30%. So like here, for example, the Patriots blitz and overload the Steelers' side of the protection, making Rodgers hot. Hot means that instead of going through his normal 1-2-3
probably didn't have to be hot on this one. I feel like we could have had some more time for that play to develop.
Means that instead of going through his normal 1-2-3 progression, it's now on him to find his hot receiver. A receiver is running a shorter route that Rodgers auto-checks to if he's getting said free runner. So while this is graded as easy throw to an open receiver...
Damn, though, but like, if we let this play develop right here... Who was 81? Is that Jonnu Smith?
So while this is great,
Jonnu Smith, like, this is nobody, literally nobody's guarding Jonnu.
easy throw
I mean, by the time the ball is actually out, though, I mean, hold on, let me mute him real quick. No offense, but like by the time the ball is actually out, like the defender is already kind of like pushing towards where he's throwing it, but he's gonna have to make a choice here. Like this guy right here, he's coming down, right? So like he's gonna come down and get Jalen Warren. He's sticking with his receiver. This guy right here, he's making a choice, and like we talked about this with the Steelers specifically, of like we had this kind of thing where we would have one safety over the top, and like teams were just like slanting us to death. Like one would go here, one would go here, and like the safety eventually like has to choose. This is one of those where like they had to choose, and like I think we're talking about I don't know how you put it, like if you touch a hot stove and you burn your hand, you're not going to touch a hot stove again. Like our offensive line has been so shitty that like he's probably jumping the gun on this. But if he waits, if he can wait a second, right? Like, because it doesn't look like he's not getting like pushed immediately right now. Like if he were to just like kind of let this develop, this could have been, you pick your poison right here. You have both players pretty much going to be open, and then also maybe like a design pick as well. Out of the receiver. So I feel like this was going to be a Jonnu Smith ball.
If Rodgers misses that he's hot from the free runner, he's probably taking a sack and a much lower grade. We can also look at his ability to create open receivers with his pre-snap processing, where a player would not be open. So once again, Rodgers would either throw the ball away or take a sack, creating a negative grade, where here it's like a 0 or 0.5 instead. He pretends to take the snap and sees that Christian Ellis jumps and that Craig Woodson is going to come down to pick up Pat Freiermuth. Rodgers knows that since Woodson is trying to maintain the disguise, he has to keep his depth. So Rodgers audibles from this gaudy concept, a go outside and a 5-yard option route inside, to a 2-step quicker out route. And once again, the grade on this throw is based off hitting an open receiver, so it's probably a 0. But the process of creating an open man instead of throwing into a dead concept is much harder to accurately grade out. While I do think that
big Roman Wilson.
At a high level,
or no, that's not Roman Wilson.
I
Sorry.
also think there is
I think that was Scotty
reason for
Miller.
PFF to give him a grade that isn't great, but just like not the worst in the league. Take this 2-play example where the Patriots are trying to show Rodgers that same look as before. They have Marte Mapu creating down, showing like he's not in coverage, but is instead going to blitz. And they have the safety Jalen Hawkins leaning heavy off the hash to show Rodgers they're going to rotate down in coverage. But then they blitz from the other side. However, since they're disguising the coverage, they have to race back to their natural landmarks. And
right.
Rodgers makes an awesome
This right here, yeah, that was a great throw.
He's the good. But then
I traded Rico Dowdle for Breece Hall. Did I win? What's up, 48? Damn, a lot of fantasy football in this, like, I don't know, maybe. Who's ranked better right now? I know Rico Dowdle just kind of ate. And then Breece Hall, the Jets, they're 0 and whatever. Was it just straight? It was just 1 for 1, like just bang, bang?
And there is also the bad. Rodgers' interception percentage is quite high, 6th highest to be exact. He's only thrown 3 interceptions, but he's 28th in the league in pass attempts. So that number, well, in extremely small sample.
What the hell was that? Hold on. This was horrible.
Highest to be exact.
Yeah, truthfully, I don't know.
Interceptions.
Rico Dowdle for Breece Hall, I'm not sure.
28th in the league.
Yeah, this is fucking horrible.
So that
I mean, he's getting smacked around, but like 14 was there the whole time.
League in pass attempts.
Roderick Jones, by the way. I mean, Roderick just gets muscled here. What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy, I'm doing like both TikTok and YouTube right now, by the way. This is kind of interesting. Oh yeah, Broderick just gets fucking absolutely muscled there.
Well, in extremely small sample is way up there. So when we get the same concept of the seam, he doesn't see the Patriots not blitzing, they're just dropping into zone, and he throws it right through the face mask of Robert Spillane for the interception.
Oh, big Robert Spillane?
Grading a quarterback,
that was Robert Spillane?
Subjected to exactly how each play is graded by PFF, is that we don't know what the grader themselves is truly seeing. The Steelers have this sail concept where they're reading 3 different levels of the coverage: deep, intermediate, and underneath to the flat. Defenses can really only create 2 levels of coverage, a safety deep and then a corner or linebacker who's underneath, sitting there trying to defend 2 different players. When the play starts, if Rodgers just holds the ball a little bit longer, he'd know that the cornerback Isaiah Rodgers is bailing deep, which would then tell him Dallas Turner probably
He has to take the
isn't
running.
going to drop deep enough for the intermediate route, so DK Metcalf will be open. But when Rodgers drops back and the Vikings blitz, for a second their pass rush flashes like they're breaking through. Troy Fautanu also starts to get smoked. So if you're the quarterback and you already don't trust the protection, shouldn't you get rid of it quicker? Is the grader giving this a 0 for hitting the ball carrier in the hands? Or is he giving Rodgers a minus grade for not holding long enough to hit the open DK? These questions need to be answered by the grader himself, and they are hard questions to answer. And I'll give you another one. It's a fake screen to Kenny Gainwell where the concept expects the defense to crash towards Gainwell to blow up the screen. But in reality, it's a fake screen where Rodgers is not supposed to throw to him at all. I'm not saying for sure the grader doesn't know this concept, but I think there is a very real possibility.
Probably should have fucking threw to him. He should have doubled back.
Throwaway, which definitely in that specific context would be graded as a minus throw. Or there was this play, a touchdown, which I actually believe goes the other way. Very likely a positively graded play for Rodgers, maybe even a 2.0, the highest you can get, but I think it deserves less. It's designed to go to the slant against man coverage. It's challenging for the cornerback to get through DK Metcalf.
Yeah, so I mean, in conclusion, like, why PFF hates Aaron Rodgers, I don't like. Their grading system is just weird, but I just can't get over the fact that, like, PFF eternally hates the Steelers. Like, in this video, he's talking about, like, you know, how they go about it, how they fucking, you know, how, like, the degree of difficulty on a throw versus, like, what's supposed to happen. Like, all of it apparently gets ranked and, like, it's all scientifical. They all have algorithms and, like, you know, equals 1 minus C2/B2. Like, you know, like, I get it, but they just hate the fucking Steelers. Like, that we can't ignore that either. They just fucking hate the Steelers. That's just, like, really the overall gist of it. And so, yeah, I don't really know why PFF hates the Steelers. I don't know what we did. I have heard that PFF is, like, based out of Ohio. So maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, very interesting. And, like, Aaron Rodgers, because, like, the reason why I brought this up, the reason why we're talking about it is, like, he's been ranked the worst quarterback. And, like, I just think that's fucking nonsense here. Like, there's been far worse play, especially, like, when you take into consideration, like, the context of it all, of, like, of, like, you know, we have no offensive line. Apparently, we don't have any wide receivers. And then, like, you look at some of these bad teams, like, you know, he's been playing worse than Tua. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. He has not been playing worse than Geno Smith. Like, I'll tell you, like, no way he's been playing worse than Geno. No way he's been playing worse than Jake Browning. Like, and that's the people who they have over him. And so, you know, I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. But, you know, overall points of this all is I think we got the Browns, right? Like, I do think we have the Cleveland Browns. Like, once again, I don't want to fucking jinx us into oblivion or whatever, but, like, we have to win this game. And if we're going to be any kind of team, we win this game. Like, the Browns, they're reeling. The Bengals are reeling. The Ravens are reeling. This is the utmost opportunity to take the AFC North by the balls, by the throat, and just fucking go out and win the division. And so we have 2 games coming up, divisional games. We got to win them, and I hope we fucking win them. But the Steelers, you know, once expectations happen, that's when we decide to play our worst football. So I guess, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what ends up happening. But with all that said, I think I am going to end the live there. This was kind of like a test run, and, like, low key. This is my first time streaming on TikTok, and, like, I finally figured out, you know, how to kind of do the layout and whatnot. I want to eventually be able to see both chats at the same time, and, like, maybe even get the chat on the screen. Jimmy liked the live. Hell yeah, we got 685 likes. Oh wait, no, I think if you just keep tapping it, Jimmy's just going away. But yeah, we got a decent amount of likes. We did get some, like, gifts as well. I got some roses. I got some chili peppers and GGs and whatnot. So I mean, I'll have to explore more if, like, this is the wave. People keep coming in and out too. Like, that's what I've noticed is, like, people, you know, they just fucking go. And so I don't know. I have to plan out, like, something, I guess, a little bit more exciting to keep them here. But all of this I can use as, like, you know, information or whatever on what to do for the next time. So I thank everybody on TikTok, and I also thank everybody on the YouTube side of things. Shout out to Steeler fans. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to everybody for peeping the stream. I got some fried rice headed my way and some cookies. So I hope everybody has a good rest of their evening. And go Steelers, man. If we don't win tomorrow, then I am literally I can't say what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it. And you guys know what I'm going to do if we don't win tomorrow. And I'm going to do it if we don't. So, peace out, guys.